shit. Here we go again.
Just Dance 2021, the 12th game in the main franchise. In the middle of a pandemic, it is basically a miracle that this game was released without suffering any delay, since each routine needs a huge team of people working, from the choreographers to the dancers, passing by the directors, editors and so on. But is Just Dance 2021 better than its predecessor? That is what I am going to discuss today. But before starting the analysis, I want to explain how it will work. I divided the video into some categories, and the time for all of them will be in the description, so you can watch the part you want. I will talk about each category separately and at the end make a general assessment of the game and give it a final grade. That said, today we are going to look at the good, bad and disappointing side of Just Dance 2021. This year Ubisoft decided to choose a color block aesthetic for the game, which from the beginning many people thought it was a somewhat dubious choice. I honestly didn't think it was bad, but I didn't think it was too good either. And, as the teasers were released, I had the feeling of seeing the same colors being recycled in some routines. And, sometimes the game seemed to be in too flashy colors. Let's take an example, temperature. They were inspired by a part of the video clip to do all the routine aesthetics, which is really cool. I usually like it when they take the atmosphere of the music video and transfer it to the game. But in this case, both the coaches and the background have very striking colors, in a kind of neon style. The coaches here use the colors, yellow, pink, blue, green and purple. I feel that these colors are quite repeated in the game, what ends up leaving a lot of routines with the visual, at least when talking about color palettes, a little similar. Of course, not all routines have the colors in this way, it's worth mentioning. Now, talking more about the game itself, the title screen and the part where you choose the game modes, I thought they looked pretty, at least better than last year, in my opinion. You really notice this kind of pixelated aesthetics color blocks in the game transition, which used to have the logo, and in Just Dance 2021 they are literally pixels that get colored. For the rest, it's basically the same thing we've been seeing since Just Dance 2019. The white menu, the songs in a vertical list with the previews playing when you select a song. I like that style, but I wish they had changed. Not drastically, because it is common for the game menu to change every 3 years. I wish they had added a night mode, for example. Giving my last opinions in the visuals, this year the world dance floor, despite the look, remains basically the same as we have seen since Just Dance 2018. This year they left it a little minimalist. It looks cute, but I'm missing something, you know, it looks kinda empty, but it still looks pretty. One last thing before we go to the next category. The backgrounds this year are ridiculously beautiful. Of course there are some very simple ones, but the creativity and diversity in the backgrounds are something to stand out. This is one of the games that has the most beautiful backgrounds in the entire franchise. I'm not going to talk about every single one, otherwise this video would have hours. This year we have 5 modes: Just Dance, Kids, Sweat, World Dance Floor and Quick Play. Just Dance is the normal mode, which everyone knows. You go, choose a song, dance, see the score and that's it. But, this year they implemented the same system of the World Dance Floor, where you see your detailed score in how many perfects, super, good, okay and X you did, and I loved it. The Sweat mode is a variation of the normal mode, where instead of seeing the score at the end of the song, you see how many calories you have burnt. I confess that I miss what the Sweat mode was like in JD4, which, in addition to being able to be in any song, had some sessions that had kind of interludes between one song and another, and depending on the intensity that you did this interlude, the game chose a song. It was pretty cool. The Kids mode is the same since JD2018, so there's not too much to mention about. They are children's songs with simpler choreography and easier to score. You choose a song, dance and you're done. This year they introduced Quick Play, and how does it work, you ask me? Yes, that's it. It chooses a song for you to dance to if you're indecisive. It works like the non-stop shuffle, an endless playlist. My biggest problem with this mode is that the game always chooses the same song for me to play. Since I open the game for the first time, I keep pressing to see if the song will change, and it is always the same song, this until you dance and they give you another song. I don't know if the mode is broken or if it was supposed to be like that. And finally, the World Dance Floor. This year they took the world dance floor and turned it into a big ranked mode that no one knows exactly how it works. For example, I always do relatively well and I never left Panda's room. It would be good if they explained more about how each room works than just that little text when you enter. I confess that at first, I hated this change, but now I'm kind of getting used to it. But being honest, I miss the diversity of things inside the world dance floor. The team battles, the bosses, the way to dance normally without being in a tournament, and going even deeper, I miss being able to choose a side and the side that won more stars gained more coins. Sometimes the coach who won more stars earned more coins. Sometimes someone from JD team would show up at World Dance Floor to dance with us in a recorded video that they repeated several times, but even so, it is these simple things that make World Dance Floor more fun. It seems that every year they have been taking out a little thing here, another little thing there, and nowadays we only have tournaments. For me, they could do this to improve the mode. Well, the obvious is to bring all the modes back because then it would make people more willing to join the game, thus increasing his lifespan. And another very cool thing would be if you could create private rooms. The game would give you a code and you would send it to your friends to play together. One last thing about the World Dance Floor, why when we play a song, it doesn't unlock anything in the normal mode? For example, I danced Get Down on World Dance Floor and it doesn't count as if I danced, but it does count my score. This is something that has happened since JD2019 and I honestly still don't understand why it is programmed this way. Giving my last thoughts on the game modes, I would love for some modes to come back, like the Party Master, Medleys, Mashups, World Video Challenge, Dance Quests, among others. I talked about it better in another video about things I wanted to get back on JD2021, then you can take a look at the cards that will be there. Also, let's not forget that Just Dance 2018 beta mode that later ended up becoming All Stars at Just Dance 2020, but much simpler than it was going to be. It would be cool if they did that mode. Here I'm going to talk a little bit about what we get for dancing to the songs, so it will be a very quick topic. The Just Dance 2021 reward system is the same as Just Dance 2020, but this year has gone through some changes. Let's make a comparison using the two games. In Just Dance 2020 you needed to dance to the song 3 times and get Megastar at least once to unlock all the rewards, and in some songs that had non-extreme alternates you needed to dance the song 5 times to unlock the alternate. At Just Dance 2021 they changed that. Now you need to dance to the song 2 times and get Megastar at least once to unlock all the rewards, and in some songs that have non-extreme alternates you only need to dance 3 times, instead of 5. In my opinion it was a very good change because I can dance less to a song that I don't like that much to get all the rewards. Now talking a little bit about the gift machine. Currently you can get Mojo by leveling up, doing missions and doing well in the songs. And each reward inside the machine costs 100 Mojos, so at first it seems like a lot since there are more than 300 items inside the machine, including avatars, codenames, styles and stickers for the album. But this year, I don't know if it's my impression, but I think it's easier and faster to get Mojo than in other games, which is very good. Last but not least, the sticker album this year follows the theme of superheroes, based on Without Me. I haven't finished getting everything yet, but it looks like it will be really cool when completed. This year the song list consists of 44 songs, which 3 of them are regional exclusives that are probably going to join Unlimited in the future. For me, the Just Dance 2021 song list is a point where Just Dance 2020 had its flaws, and they saw that they made some doubtful choices and tried to redeem themselves this year. And honestly, they did. This, for me, is one of the best song lists in the entire franchise. We have songs that are a huge success, of several decades, iconic songs, songs that we have been asking to enter the game for a long time, unknown songs that are good, from different parts of the world, of different styles, songs created especially for game, and a huge diversity of languages, such as Arabic, Korean, Spanish, French, Dutch, English, Japanese, Persian, Portuguese and Ukrainian. Unfortunately, there are some songs here that are clearly fillers and that are taking the place of better songs that could have entered the game, but this is a recurring thing in recent Just Dance games. I love when they make a good balance between new and old songs, because then we don't only have extremely recent songs and at the same time not only extremely old songs. I like it a lot when Just Dance puts songs that are unfamiliar to me, and when I listen to it I end up liking it, and it happened a lot this year with almost all the songs that I didn't know. I also thought it was amazing that they managed to put a lot of songs of this year. Given all this situation that we are living in, I thought there would be few songs from 2020, but I was wrong. They even managed to put Ice Cream, for example, which is a very recent song considering that it joined Unlimited 2 months after the song's release. This year the team's effort in choosing songs paid off. Well, this is a topic that always generates discussion, especially from Just Dance 2018 onwards. And, as I said in another video, for me it was in 2018 that the choreography started to get a little more repetitive and easier than normal. What I think was slightly corrected in Just Dance 2019, where, even though we had repetitive choreography, they were better than 2018, at least for me. In Just Dance 2020 it kind of decayed a little again, but now in 2021 the choreographies are more interesting to dance than in 2020. However, they maintain the same level of difficulty as last year, in other words, not very complicated choreographies, in some cases too easy, especially in the hits of the game, which is completely reasonable because, as these are usually the most played songs at events, they probably wanted to make choreographies more accessible to everyone. As much as some are very repetitive, they are fun to dance. For example, Voller. It's a repetitive choreography. The chorus basically has 2 movements, but it's a really cool dance. Temperature is the same thing. The chorus repeats 300 times in the song, but it's fun to dance. Of course, there are some that could have been better worked and, in some cases, there are some that are kinda disappointing considering all the expectations that the community had around that song entering in Just Dance. But on the other hand, others surprised me a lot, like Ice Cream, The Weeknd, Paka Dance, All the Good Girls Go to Hell, among others that are very fun to dance. Speaking a little bit about the alternates, here we have the same style as Just Dance 2020. 13 alternates and the majority of them are extremes. Some of these alternates are very good, while others, in my opinion, were not necessary. For example, Till the World Ends and Yamin Yasar. The normal choreographies are already very good, so with these two I feel that the alternates did not reach the same level of the original ones. On the other side, we have alternates that are better than the original versions, such as Don't Start Now and Samba de Janeiro, which did justice to samba, delivering a flawless alternate. And, obviously, Feel Special, which uses the original choreography with some minor adaptations to fit more into the game's standards. In general, the game's choreography remains a bit repetitive. It maintains the same difficulty as the last game but is more fun to dance than the previous one. The game really shines in some alternates. However, some songs that needed an alternate did not receive one, and some that did not need ended up having one, which is sad, because it could have increased the quality of the game even more. Overall, in one hand, Just Dance 2021 is a good game, with a great selection of songs, with cool choreography and absurdly beautiful backgrounds. On the other hand, it is a game that lacks modes, repeats the same 3-year-old menu and contains the same problems as previous games, which could have already been solved, but unfortunately this is not the case. And that includes the sound of the game, which is extremely low. If you compare Just Dance 2021 with Just Dance 4 in 2014 you will notice the difference in their volume, and this has been happening for a while but Ubisoft hasn't fixed it yet, which I think shouldn't be so hard to fix, so please Ubisoft, increase the volume of the next game, thank you. But the most important thing is that he fulfilled his purpose very well, which is to entertain. I honestly thought that Ubisoft did a very good job with this game, especially if we consider all the problems that are happening in the world at the moment. Of course, the game is not perfect and it does have its problems, like the ones I already mentioned here, and of course, some bugs that always happens. But honestly, if you put it in the balance, the positives outweigh the negatives on Just Dance 2021. So, the final grade one give to this game is 8 out of 10. I was surprised by Just Dance 2021, I'm liking it more than I thought I would. And answering the question I asked at the beginning of the video, it is, yes, much better than Just Dance 2020. Thank you so much to all of you who watched the video so far. This was the hardest video I've ever edited, so, I really hope you enjoyed it. Remembering that this is just my opinion and that it's okay if you don't agree with me. Also, comment down below what you think of the game, I will love to read your comments. This is another attempt of mine to bring something different to the channel. I mean, after 4 years making the same type of video, it is good to change sometimes. Also, if you have any video ideas of what I can do, just leave your comments too. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. See you next time.